Hi, today we're going to talk about the iTEP preview. You have to first go to the link, which is a preview, and it will take you to the iTEP preview website. It is easy to follow, so you just click to begin. The system is going to check.
These directions will be repeated.
The system is going to check your web browser, your internet connection speed, your audio player, your voice recorder, and your camera. So they all must mark good next to it. In order to confirm that the voice recorder is working, you will have to click yes and give a sample recording. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. Now, once confirming that it works, you're gonna have to check your camera, because the system must confirm that the camera is working. No other application in your system must be using it. So in this case, I have to turn my system off. Now, the next page, you must add all your information. This will allow iTEP to register who is taking the test and to keep, I guess, the statistics of the people who take the test. For the tutorial, native language is Spanish, and non-applicable university. So then we click next. In the official test, you will see this screen, which says that whenever you see this picture, you must have your headphones on. Now, if you're working from home, if you're taking the test, it is best always to have headphones on, considering that you might get distracted easily by any external noise. Then the next one will be about adjusting the
Click
audio.
on the volume slider bar down below. Using this volume slider bar, you can increase or decrease the volume to a comfortable level.
So in this case, you may adjust the volume to what is best for you. The next screen is going to give you an overview of what you will see in every slide or every page. Like in this case, you will see the questions, the number of questions, and the question where you are working on, and the time that you have left. Do not see the timer as your like a psychological distractor. It's more there for you to administer your time. Use that to your advantage. Next, the next page is going to let you know where you are in the test, whether you are in the grammar section, listening section, reading section, writing section, or the speaking section. There's a total of 5 sections in this test. Now, once we are ready, we can click next. The beginning next section screen will let you know that you're about to start, in this case, the grammar section. The test will present you the general directions. it is important that you read them and understand them. For example, in the grammar section, you have question 1 through 13, where you must click on the circle next to the word or phrase that correctly completes the sentence. For part 2, in this case, questions 14 to 25, you must click on the circle next to the incorrect word or phrase in the sentence. In this section, you may use the back button. Now, as you can see in this section, select the word or phrase that correctly completes the sentence. So here, as you can see, you select one in order to complete. You select one option in order to complete the sentence. Now, it is important to notice that here in the preview task, we have limited number of questions compared to the official test. And here you do not have the time. Now let's go to part 2. Part 2, you're supposed to select the word or phrase that is not correct in the sentence. One way that you can recognize in which section you are is that the word or expressions or phrase in this case, it's underlined. Like in this example, the word that is not correct is becoming. Now we're taken to the listening section. Again, before you start the listening section, you will hear a voice describing the general directions. He reads them to you, so you can listen to them, or you can read them, or you can listen to them and read them, so that you have a clear picture of what you have to do.
You will hear each conversation or lecture only one time. Now, prepare to listen to 4 short conversations.
The great thing about this test is that in every section it directs you so that your anxiety is down or goes down, so that you're ready to provide the information that you're requesting. When you're relaxed, everything comes out natural.
A group of us are going to the cafeteria in 10 minutes. Do you want to come with us?
Sure, but I want to change clothes first, so I'll meet you in line.
Ask your roommate if he'd like to join us.
Now, remember that listening section, it's composed of 3 parts. Part 1, it's a short conversation. Part 2, you have a longer conversation. And in part 3, you have a lecture. So as you can see here, part 1, in the preview test, you only get 1 question. In the official one, you get 4. Now, we move to the reading section. Remember that this is only an iTEP preview. It's a preview test. It's not a complete test. The complete test lasts 90 minutes. Again, it is important for you to read the instructions, the general directions in every section. Here in the reading section, it is composed of 2 parts. Part 1, the first passage is approximately 250 words in length and is followed by 4 questions. Part 2, the second passage is approximately 450 words in length and is followed by 6 questions. Now, in this section, you may use the next and back buttons to move forward and backwards between both passages and all of the questions. And you may change your answers if you wish. Remember, as long as you have time. So this is a typical view of what the reading passages in the official test look like. You'll be able to scroll down to read all the paragraphs. Then once you read it, you will have the question next to it for you to answer. And the beauty of this is that you will see an arrow next to the paragraph where you will find the answer. This is a typical vocabulary question. You answer them, you move forward. Remember always to check your time. It lets you know if you have enough time to go back and review. If you consider that you don't need to go back and review, then use that time to relax. Remember that the brain works best when you are, or better when you are relaxed. And how do you get relaxed? By oxygenating your brain. Now, the writing section. General directions. Part 1 and part 2. Part 1, you will write a short note or letter. And part 2, you will write a longer essay. Topics will be given to you for both the note and the essay. Please note that once you click the next button, you may not return to an earlier topic. Let's go right there. Using the topic given on the next screen, write a short note or letter. You will have 5 minutes. Your note should be 50 to 75 words long. Maximum length is 100 words. Remember that in a typical line, you can fit there 10 to 12 words. So if it is 50 words, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, like a paragraph. So this is your this is the page where you will have to work on your writing. The topic is at the top. As you can see here, your school just started a pen pal program in which students from different countries get to know one another by writing letters. Your pen pal is from New Zealand. Write a note introducing yourself, your family, and your city. Now here, as you can see, you have different tools on the right. Now, so in this blank square is where you have to type in your notes or essay or whatever task you're requesting. Now here at the bottom of this square, you will see the word count. It will let you know how many more words you can write. And remember, do not press tab key while in writing area. Once you're done, I recommend you always to go back and check. Remember, the preview test can also be a tool of practice that is preparing you for the official test. Remember that you have the preview test, you have the practice test, you also have the book, which comes with 2 practice tests. So there's plenty of practice before you sit down in front of the official exam. Now let's move to the speaking section. In the speaking section, you have the general directions slide.
The speaking section has 2 parts.
Now let's listen.
You will both hear the question.
It will be read to you the general directions. The speaking section has 2 parts, just as the writing. In the first part, you will both hear the question and see it printed on your screen. In the second part, you will hear a statement that presents 2 different opinions or points of view on a topic. After you hear this statement, you will be asked to express your thoughts on the topic. Then you click next, and you will be given some seconds for you to answer some questions. Let's listen to them.
Some short questions. The timer will count down as you speak. This section will not be graded. After the beep, please say your name.
My name is Tito Hidalgo.
Thank you. And where do you live?
I live in the beautiful city of Guayaquil.
Good. And what is the weather like today?
The weather, like, it's kind of cloudy, bit moisty, I would say.
Okay. And finally, as the timer counts down, tell us one thing you like to do to have fun.
One thing I like to do to have fun, I would say gather my kids and go to the park, play ball, play basketball, do a little chat, and things like that. Usually spending time with the family. Quality time.
Thank you. This concludes the speaking practice session.
Now, after you do this short practice, now you go to the
Directions.
speaking section where
Listen to a short
the directions will be read out to you. In this case, after you hear the statement, you will have 45 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to speak. So in the iTEP preview test, you will be presented with part 2 of the speaking section, of the speaking part. So you will listen to a short statement presenting 2 different opinions on a topic. Then you express your thoughts on the topic, giving specific reasons and examples to support your own. So in this case, try to do your best. Sound natural. And after you're done, that would be it with this test. At the end of the preview test, you will see a chart with your scores in every section. Of course, remember that the writing and the speaking sections, these skills are not graded by the machine. They require human beings. So they're not graded in this test, in this version. However, you can get an idea by the samples that you have given. Now you will see the scores for the grammar section, for the listening section, and for the reading section. I hope that these brief will bring to you some idea or give you an idea of what you will face during the preview test. And this is a great training for the other practice test. Thank you, and you all have a great week.